You ever walk into a place and feel like the whole room's already decided who you are? That was me, walking into Ravenwood County Airport, this tiny, old-school regional airfield, where the loudest thing in the building was the vending machine buzzing near the wall. I was dressed nice, black blazer, pressed slacks, laptop in hand, and, yeah, I stood out. That's not a crime. But apparently, in that airport, it was enough to make me look suspicious. I was just waiting on a private pickup, reviewing some files, minding my own. But I could feel two sets of eyes drilling into me from the little security booth by the window. Two cops. One older with that smug, seen-it-all-before face, and the other younger, kinda jittery, like he didn't know whether to speak or just follow the lead. I caught the older one saying something like, "Look at that! What's she doing here?" with a little chuckle like I was some kind of joke. I didn't flinch. I wasn't going to shrink myself to make them comfortable. They came strutting over, slow, like they had all day and enjoyed the power trip. The older one, Officer Briggs, nodded toward my laptop. "Evening. You waiting for someone, miss?" I nodded. "Yes, sir. Private pickup. Just doing some work while I wait." He eyed my clothes, my rings, the watch on my wrist like they didn't belong on someone like me. "Pretty fancy getup for a place like this," he muttered, then grinned. "Private jet, huh? You must be doing pretty well." I just said, "I work hard. Travel's part of the job." He stepped in a little closer. "Mind showing us some ID? And maybe what's in that bag?" That's when it clicked. This wasn't curiosity. This was a fishing expedition. He didn't have a reason. He just saw a black woman with expensive things and decided there had to be something shady going on. "I'll show you my ID," I said calmly, "but you can't search my bag without a warrant or probable cause." He smirked, but his eyes sharpened. "We're airport security. We can check whoever we like. Random screening." "Then randomly screen someone else, eh?" I said, holding my bag close. His tone shifted. Got lower, colder. "You want to play games? We can take you somewhere private, search everything. Or you can cooperate now." I could feel the heat rising in my chest, not from fear, but fury. This wasn't a safety check. This was humiliation dressed up as protocol. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "You're gonna regret this." He laughed, like full-on belly laugh. "Oh yeah? And who exactly are you?" "My name's Camille Weston," I said, keeping my voice level. "My father is Charles Weston, Attorney General of the United States." You could have heard a pin drop. Briggs stopped laughing. His face turned pale, like ghost pale. The younger one, Officer Deeks, froze too, eyes darting toward his partner like, "What the hell did we just do?" I pulled out my phone and called my dad, told him exactly what happened. He listened, calm, steady. Then he said, "Don't move, stay put. I'm sending the Inspector General. You'll be okay." I hung up. They heard the whole thing. 20 minutes later, a black sedan rolled up out front. Feds stepped out, suits sharp as razors. Right behind them, the local police chief pulled in, face tight with embarrassment. When he saw me, saw them standing near me, his whole posture changed, like he knew he'd stepped into a storm he couldn't control. The federal agents walked up, asked if I was okay, if I needed water, if I wanted to press charges. The cops? They got told to hand over their badges, their guns, and leave the building. Suspended on the spot. That's when the panic hit them for real. Turns out, this wasn't Officer Briggs' first time pulling that kind of stunt. He'd harassed folks before, always the same pattern. Deeks? He'd never spoken up, just nodded along, kept his head down. But this time, they picked the wrong woman. The Department of Justice launched a full investigation. They pulled the airport's security footage, interviewed other employees. People came forward. Stories started stacking up. It wasn't just me. It never is just one person. That's the thing about abuse of power. It leaves a trail. Both officers were fired. No pension, no backdoor deal, no quiet exit. Their records flagged permanently. They'll never wear a badge again, not in any state. And me? I didn't walk away cheering. It wasn't some victory lap. But it was a moment of clarity. Proof that, just once, the system did what it was supposed to. Not because I was special, but because someone with power listened when I spoke. Still, I know plenty of people who wouldn't have had that chance, who would have been searched, maybe detained, maybe worse, all without a headline or a phone call to save them. That's why I tell this story. Not because I want sympathy, I'm not looking for that. But because someone out there needs to hear it, needs to know it's not in their head, that the way they're looked at, questioned, doubted, it's real, and it's wrong. So, let me ask you this. If I hadn't dropped my last name, if they hadn't been scared of who my dad was, would they have backed off? Or would it have gone further? Do you think they deserve to lose their careers over what they did? Or was it just a misunderstanding? And more than that, have you ever seen something like this? Been through something like this? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about it. Because silence is how it keeps happening. And stories are how we start to change it.